Okay, in this example we're asked to find the limit as x approaches 0 of sine of 4x over x. Now, the whole idea behind these problems is that the argument of the sine function, in this case 4x, has to be exactly the same expression as is on the bottom of the fraction. So we need 4x on the bottom as well. Whatever follows the sine, the argument of the sine, in this case the 4x, we are stuck with. We can't change that. So what we have to do instead is try and get a 4x on the bottom. Okay, remember that please. The argument of the sine function can't change. So if it's sine of 4x, it's going to stay sine of 4x. And we just need to change the other part of the expression. So the simplest way to do that is to multiply the bottom of this expression by 4. So that will give you the limit of the sine of 4x over x multiplied by, we're going to multiply it by a 4 on the bottom. Now you can't simply multiply it by a 4 on the bottom, that changes the expression. But if we multiply it by a 4 on the top as well, then what we really are doing is we're multiplying by 1. And as you know, that never changes an expression. So we're going to have our 4x on the bottom. The top is going to look a little bit different though. So this is going to give us the limit as x approaches 0. Now on the bottom we're going to have our 4x, which is what we want. But on the top we're going to take that 4 and we're going to write it all the way out here. So it's going to be a 4 times the sine of 4x. Okay, well, we can break this down in a couple of different ways. If we want to break it down really slowly and carefully, we can say that this is the limit as x approaches 0 of 4 times the sine of 4x over 4x. Now, one of the things hopefully you learned about limits last year is that if you're multiplying an expression by a constant, in this case the 4, we can bring the 4 outside the limit sign. So we're going to take this 4 here, we're going to take that 4 there, and we're going to move it outside the limit sign. So we're going to have 4 times the limit as x approaches 0 of the sine of 4x over 4x. And now, if you look at this part of the expression, we have the limit as x approaches 0, we have the sine of 4x on top, and we have 4x on the bottom. In other words, the two conditions are met, that x is approaching 0, and that the argument of the sine x here and the expression on the bottom are the same. So that is all going to become equal to 1. So we're going to have 4 times, and all of this here, this entire limit is 1, so the limit is 4. And again, if I draw your attention over here, we can see that graphically, as x approaches 0, in other words, as we get closer and closer to an x value of 0, the height of the graph is getting closer and closer to 4. So again, the graphical interpretation and the algebraic interpretation both give us the same answer, as they need to. Okay, now we'll look at one more example in a moment that is a little bit more complicated, but basically this example shows you the general idea. Okay, thank you.